Can I see how many people love sports here? Can you all please close your eyes for a second and think of your proudest moment in sports history? My proudest moment was when our state athlete Mirabai won silver in the recent Tokyo Olympics. But let me show you some pictures and think what might be missing from this picture. I know you all feel proud of everyone, but what might be missing from this picture? Sports, as we thought to be neutral and progressive, turns out to be categorized on the basis of gender for men and women. What happens to all those people who do not fit in the binary? Let me show you another picture. Caster Semenya, South Africa, Mary Gregory, United States, Shanti Soundarajan, India, Dutee Chand, India. You know what's common among them? They all are champions, but their medals were stripped or disqualified because they failed the male-female gender test. Some of them identify as transgender, intersex, and queer. I identify myself as gay, and I used to love sports when I was a kid. I would go to the playground like any other kid, but they all would tease me and bully me. They would call me homo. You know what happened to a child that time? It started affecting my mental health, and I never went to a playground anymore. I stopped playing altogether. I felt I was alone. But when I connected to many people from my community, I realized they had faced the same issue. You won't find many queer people playing openly. I am from Manipur, which is considered as the powerhouse of sports in the country. Our small state has already produced 19 Olympians and hundreds of champions in all the field of sports. We even have our own sporting event called Yaosang Sports during Holi. It is celebrated for 5 days. And it is considered as the biggest sporting festival in Manipur. But again, you know what happened. For people like me who do not feel safe in playground, we are left out. Can you feel the pain of being left out from the biggest festival in your state? Let me remind you of the legalities around queer rights in India. India acknowledged transgender as a third category of gender in 2014, decriminalized homosexuality in 2018. But for a country with more than 1 billion population, why are we not seeing many people from the LGBTIQ plus community coming out? Why are we not seeing people who are playing openly with their true identity? The answer is very simple. Queer people like me live with fear and shame. We are bullied, abused, just because of who we are. I really wanted to address this issue. Even in sports, this is still same. It was the same, it is still the same. There's a lot of discrimination that happens in sport on the basis of sex, gender, and sexuality. I really wanted to address this issue, but was not sure of how. I had seen many countries and cities doing pride walks and pride events. But the place where I am from, Manipur, has been under conflict and militarization for so long that there were a lot of risks that involved. But to a group of people looking to live with dignity, that risk was worth taking. So instead of Pride Walk, what we did, we conceptualized sports for pride. We created queer games and sporting event for LGBTIQ plus individuals, a sporting event only for them in 2018. But honestly, on the day of the event, we were really scared. But when we moved from Kangla, you know about Kangla? Kangla is the most sacred place for Meiteis in Manipur. 100 of us walked down from Kangla holding rainbow flags and an inaugural torch in our hand. We were again really scared. What will people do? But when we walked down to the venue, 100 of us, it seemed the flame of the torch has given us hope and courage. We were no longer afraid about anyone. When we reached the venue, what we did? We had organized a special football tournament for transgender men and transgender women. Football, let me tell you about Manipur, is just not a game. It's an emotion. Whenever there's a match or a tournament happening, people would just stop there and watch. They don't care who are players. I really wanted to see how these same people will react when a group of transgender persons were playing openly. So when the match started, they looked at us with a lot of curiosity. Who are these people? But when the match progressed, they started commenting on the game. They seemed to have forgotten who were the players. That moment, what I realized, sports sees no gender. Sports has no gender. But to strengthen the revolution, what we did, we launched Asia's and India's first all-transgender football team in 2020. Hundreds of stories were written on how a small organization in Northeast was breaking barriers in sports. But again, another challenge came. When we tried to register the team as a transgender club, many people started saying, why do you need a different category of gender? Why don't you play in the gender you were born with? Who will you compete against? It was a whole lot of disappointment. Luckily, as the news started spreading across media again, those people who said we had no future started reaching out to us and congratulated us. Our parents and friends stood by us and celebrated our courage. The small team became a ray of hope to millions of LGBTIQ individuals who really wanted to play but never got a chance. I created Yaol after surviving 2 drug overdoses in Mumbai. I live with post-traumatic stress disorder and I am on my way to recovery. I went back to Manipur in 2017 and formed a WhatsApp group to provide support to young people like me from the community who are facing conflict and crisis. We now work as a peer support network and have used sports extensively to talk about diversity and inclusion. Yaol in Manipuri means revolution. In English, how will we read it? You all. Everyone. So we are leading an inclusive revolution. And now, what we are planning, we are now on a bigger campaign to make India the proudest country by making them acknowledge transgender as a third category of gender in sports. And also advocate for inclusive sporting events. I know we all have our own biases and judgments about the community, and just changing society's mindset will take a long time. This is a big responsibility. I definitely cannot do it alone. But if you all join me in this movement, we can make a huge revolution. Next time, when you organize an event or sports, remember, our abilities cannot be restricted by gender. Sports is played for the love of the game. Who are we to stop somebody from playing their true self?